To understand the evolution of desserts in India, it is very important for us to go back to our history, which is divided into three parts. Let us go back to the very beginning when India was a land solely for the Hindus, and this is the era when mithai and sweets were made solely out of milk. At the same time, sugar cultivation methods and processing and preservation of milk was developed. Then comes the second part, the part when the Mughal invaders started to rule India, and with their invasion, there was a natural change in our cuisine also. Mughal invaders brought with them a range of sweets, which is flour-based sweets. Sweets such as Gulab, Jamun, Jalebi, Halwa, Sharbat all have Middle Eastern origins. The third and the final era is the era of the British Raj. They contributed heavily to the evolution of mithai in India. The British government transformed the Indian cuisine in a profound way. They brought in a space for a new elite class of Indians altogether. And it was the new elite class of Indians which encouraged the Mithaiwalas or the Halwaes to innovate, especially in the colonial capital of Calcutta. Also, not to forget that it was the Portuguese who got in cakes in India and established the culture of baking in Goa. It is also very important to understand the spread of sugar around the world. Sugar is not the only sweetener that has been used to make desserts. Dates, figs and other fruits have been used as sweeteners in various parts of the world, and they still continue to do. Trees have also been tapped for their juices to either make maple syrup or palm sugar. But the most widespread ancient sweetener has been honey, which humans have been using since time immemorial. With extreme dietary rules of Buddhists and Jains, they did not only avoided eating meat, but they did not also consume a lot of fruits and vegetables. Any fermented food is a taboo, and they did not also consume honey with the assumption that bees are harmed in the process. With so little allowed to eat, where could they find pleasure in life? Well, in the deserts. And this is exactly why sugar is so special. A vast majority of our favorite sweets could not have been invented without pure refined sugar. There are a lot of things that you can do with sugar that you just cannot do with sweeteners like honey and fruit juices. You can turn sugar into spun sugar, which eventually turns into cotton candy. You can also melt sugar, which can eventually be converted into caramel. Melted sugar can also be transformed into sugary candies, which can have textures varying from hard to chewy. But that one most appealing thing about sugar is that a quality that it lacks. It lacks flavor. Refined sugar is simply and plainly sweet. Chocolate made out of sugar will only taste of chocolate. A spoonful of sugar does not get in the way of vanilla's aroma. Thriving dessert culture has always been dependent on abundant sugar. Milk is the most revered element in mithai. Dahi, paneer, mawa, ghee are all made out of milk. But it is pretty much evident that without sugar there would have been no holy mithai. I specifically mention holy because there is a holy trinity in mithai also. A holy trinity of milk, ghee and dahi. Together, these elements make up a mixture called Charnamrit, which is used as an offering on Lord Krishna's birthday, also known as Janmashtami. This is then consumed by the devotees, but this same mixture is also used to wash down the deities. It is no surprise that India has an emerging rate of diabetes, which is growing day by leaps and bounds. But sweets are special. It is not only holy, but it is almost used in every other ritual that is celebrated between life and death, and also every special event that comes in between. By studying mithai, maybe we can learn a little more about what makes humans human. Because let's face it, for some people happiness is a hot fudge halwa, or for some people it's a plate full of Gulab, Jamun and Rasgulla. So much of our happiness is dependent on mithai. Why should not it be worth finding out how all of this came to be?